Well, I had a video I was working on earlier, and the video messed up, so I'm gonna have to redo it. Basically, I wanted to give you a few ideas on what to do if you've got damaged produce or cosmetic damage or blemished produce. Some of the things you can save it. You don't always have to throw it away, and you want to try and save it. At the very least, you want to know when you can save it and when you can't. Some things you don't want to try and save. First off, you can open it up and smell test it. Take a look at the inside. If there's any kind of smell, cut off the parts that look bad, then smell it again. If it smells bad still, then you toss it. Anything with botulism or mold, I wouldn't even chance it. But there's a lot of things that you can save. If you have chickens or birds, you can sometimes give them small bits to test on things you're not sure about and see how they do. And usually they'll be fine. You're still following the same procedure. Cosmetic damage and blemishes can usually be saved if they're not bad. Bruising can usually be saved. You just cut off what you don't like. And this is really important. We're reaching a turning point in the country where the the wealth in this country is almost gone, and people are going to experience hard times, and they're going to need to know what to do. Even if you're not at this point yet, you want to know what you could do. It's a skill. You're trying to figure out what you can save and what you can't. And this can apply to apples, and it can apply to other things. With apples, what you usually find is there'll be some worm damage or some other stuff. And you usually can cut that part out and keep the rest. You don't need to get rid of it. And you want to try and save those anyway. And you want to try and grow trees without having to use the chemical sprays, but that sometimes means you're going to have to know how to cut worms out of the apples. Through experience in our family and our family businesses, including my parents and grandparents, we found out that a lot of the farm sprays cause nerve problems and Parkinson's. And this is why we decided we didn't want to do farm sprays on our apples. And this was quite alarming to see what the farm sprays were doing, because we knew a lot of farm people. And it's odd when you see a lot of them having their hands shake when they're older, and they've all been messing with the farm sprays to use them. So that's another reason why you want to know what to do, so you can avoid that kind of stuff. Now you can see in the pictures for this video that the one in question that we're talking about is cantaloupes. I really like cantaloupes, and I like growing them. I know how to grow melons. The last couple of years we've been growing melons. With this cantaloupe, part of the outside was damaged, and I thought that would be a really good test case to do a video about. You can see there's a section there that's cut out. We cut off that part, and then we cut it open and smell tested it, and everything was fine. After we'd cut off the blemish part, the blemish hadn't been there that long, so that contributed to how much we could save and the decision to save it. How much it's been, how long it's been damaged for, how many days, that can affect whether or not you're going to keep it or not. The other thing that can affect that is if it's been in stagnant water. Okay, if it's been in stagnant water for a while and if the water smells bad, you probably don't want to try saving anything. Water and air are the mechanisms for decay. So the more water and air something's been exposed to, the faster it's going to erode and decay. And that's your guide. The other thing you want to know is that 50 degrees is the cutoff point for whether or not life starts to either speed up or slow down. And that's a really interesting thing. That's why your fridges work the way they do and why they chill stuff to about roughly that temperature. Knowing that can help you to know how to push the limits on how long you can preserve your food in the fridge and how you can get bruised or blemished fruit and vegetables to last longer or not last longer. As a general rule, if something's got a blemish or a bruise that is garden produce, you want to use those right away. I would not put those kind into mason jar canning or long-term food storage. You want to use those right away, and then the other ones that are better can be turned into the other longer term stuff. And that's an important guideline for most garden produce options. The other thing you want to know in salvaging this kind of stuff, and as it relates to sorry, the mic cut out. But basically, the other thing you want to know is that refrigerator storing methods for food are not a long-term solution. There's too much instability in it. And I would, if you're using that for your food preservation method, to use freezers or fridges, I would encourage you to do more homework and to convert it to something that will last and work without that, because right now, right here in my home state, a lot of people don't know that their power grid and utilities are being fought over by whether or not they're going to raise the rates, and they're being tricked by these wealthy elite to try and make them think that there's trouble in the power grid, so they need to raise prices. And to convince them of that, they sometimes do fake brownouts. And this is what happens in other states. This means the utilities are not as stable, partly due to mongering and manipulation by man. So this gives you more incentive to learn more about what you can do with both food storage and gardening. Thanks.